guys, hope you're all doing good. So today we're gonna work on Manufrance, and first let's have a bit of history on who Manufrance is. So Manufrance was a French company established in 1885, and they were based in Saint-Étienne, so in France, and they were mainly selling on catalog at the time, and mainly only two type of items: the hunt weapons such as the rifle, and also bicycles. And later in the early 19th, they then moved to home equipment such as straight razors. And this is one of them that we're gonna work on today. So this one is coming from his original box, which is still in good state. And this razor seems to be in really good shape, I have to say, for its age. So it must be manufactured around, I would say, 1950, 1960s. So, really nice one. There was a bit of rust on the spine and on the tank, which I polished, and it's now fully removed. As you can see, there's a nice etching saying Étoile Saint-Étienne, so from the town they were made. And this is a 7/8, so big chunky one, really nice one, shiny, like mirror polish. And you can see on the top of the spine there is a nice engraved blade here, really cool looking, I have to say. This is not the first Manufrance I'm working on, and usually they are quite easy to hone and really good shavers. We'll see that later on. So let's have a look under the microscope and see the state of this edge. Okay, doesn't look too bad. It's not shave ready, but doesn't look too bad. A bit of oxidations, but not too much, and no dents or impact on the edge, which is great. So usually I would start by the Shapton 1K, but here it doesn't look too bad, so we're gonna start directly with the Shapton 5K. And we'll see anyway if the result is alright under the microscope. So here is our stone, the Shapton 5K. Let's adjust the stand. So I like putting some tape, protective tape, on the spine to avoid grinding it. A bit of Sharpie marker on the edge to then confirm that the geometry of the blade is correct. Let's put a layer of water on the stone. And let's start. So we've seen on the microscope briefly that the nose need probably a bit more attention. There's some higher scratches on it, so let's see. So we're gonna start with few X strokes flat, just to see if the marker is going away on its own or not, without any special move, which would confirm that the blade is perfectly flat. If not, it means that the blade is not touching perfectly well on the stone, and so we'll have to play with the wrist. But it's very rare to see the Manufrance razor with geometry issue, to be honest. So let's have a look now at the blade and see if the marker went away. Yeah, that's great. I don't think you can see it on the camera, or maybe you can, but the marker's gone. That's great news. Okay, the stone is a bit dry, a bit more water here. Doesn't need to be soaked, but we need water on the stone. So we're gonna start by small circles, and then we'll follow them by the usual X strokes. Gonna make sure that the tip or the nose of the edge is well covered. Let's have a look now if we've done a good job, and look at the edge. Okay, that's the microscope view. So the good thing is all the oxidation is gone, which is great. No dent. Yeah, we need a bit more attention on the nose. We'll do it with the next stone. That's not a bother. Let's rinse our Shapton 5K. It's important to take good care of your stones, so by rinsing them and then removing the water from them and then letting them dry before putting them back in the box. Otherwise you might have them to crack or to have kind of mushroom on it, damp. And now we're gonna move to the JNAT, so the Nakayama LV5++, so a very hard finishing stone. Let's adjust the stand. And we're gonna use the first Slurry Stone with this one, which is the Asano Nagura Tenju. Asano Nagura Tenju. And so the Tenju has a grit on 6-7K. So no need to put a lot of pressure, otherwise you're gonna get some little chips. And that's it. You've got a nice slurry that you bring towards you. And we can start with the razor. So make sure that the elbow of the hand holding the razor is quite high up. That will make your blade being perfectly flat and without any effort on the stone. The advantage of the slurry is to see exactly that you're doing a good move on the stone. So it should move with the blade. If you're getting tired, you can use the other hand also to help you to keep the blade perfectly flat. Let's look at the beam. Yeah, the beam is crossing well the edge perfectly well. And now the microscope. Okay, that's great. We've erased most of the Shapton 5K scratches, which is what we want. Now we're gonna rinse the stone to remove the rest of the Tenju slurry. Now keep a small layer of water. And we can move to our next stone, the Asano Nagura Meijiro. And so the Meijiro has a grit of 8 to 9K. Again, no need to put too much pressure, just enough to raise the slurry. And again, same process. No need to go fast, just ensure your move is correct. So because we had some scratches near the tip, we will make sure that the top of the tip is touching perfectly well the stone. So we will have to, at the end of the lap, of each lap, to slightly bend the wrist to make the tip touch perfectly well the stone. That looks good. It's quite hard to get proper focus with such a shiny blade. Yeah, looks alright, perfectly flat and balanced. We're gonna rinse our stone. And now we're gonna move to the last Asano Nagura Slurry Stone, which is the hardest Asano Nagura, and this is the Asano Nagura Koma. So the Koma has grit around 10 to 12k. And so with this one, really no need to put any pressure on it. Just the weight of the stone should be enough. It will take more time to raise the slurry because it's an extremely hard stone, but that's perfectly normal. And your slurry will look, I would say, a lot clearer than the two other ones, which is also normal. Look at if there is any small chip in the slurry, and then you remove them with your finger. Otherwise, you have a high risk to scratch your edge. So really at this stage, no pressure on the blade, just ensure you have a correct move, nice and smooth, and you're covering the whole edge with the slurry. Okay, that's going pretty well. So usually the Manufrance razors are really a real pleasure to own. They are really easy to do it. Okay, very nice, very nice. And now, again, same processes. We're gonna rinse our base stone, remove the slurry of the Koma, and finally we're gonna go with our last slurry stone, which is a Tomonagura. And this is a new Tomonagura that I just recently bought. It's a Nakayama Kita. So very similar stone to the base stone I have. Very hard. The Kita is also used as base stone. When you have a bigger ones, they are really well renowned, excellent base stones. So I want to try to use this one as a slurry stone, which should be okay, I guess. They are both extremely hard, which means we'll get a very fine slurry. So in terms of grit, definitely over 15k. And so this one, compared to the Asano, will have a brown slurry, where the Asano had a very white one. Extremely flat, well polished stone. Okay, and same processes. No pressure, nice move, flat on the stone. We won't need to do too many laps with the final slurry stone. And that's it. Clean the blade, look at the beam. Yeah, perfect. And final look under the microscope. So when you're at the end of the honing session, you really have to be careful to not put too much pressure. Otherwise, you might crack the edge or put even mini dents on it. Perfect, we're done. So, important, again, clean your stone, dry it well. Usually they're expensive stones, so you don't want them to get cracked or deteriorated. Let's remove the tape. Please make sure to not cut yourself at this stage. The razor will be extremely sharp and sometimes the blade is jumping after removing the tape. It's really a good tape, I have to say. This is a new tape I'm using now for a few months. This is a Scotch Super 33 Plus, extremely good tape. Again, really nice blade. Okay, so I've done 150 laps now on my Nakayama strop, and now we're gonna test with the blade with the hanging hair test, and just see if a hair can just get cut instantly by touching the edge. So far so good. Don't know if you can see or hear on the video, but yeah, it's cutting very well. It's a very nice singing blade. Yeah, perfect. And now the ultimate test was to do a shave, which I did, and I used the Mitchell Woodfrat famous soap, and I had a really amazing smooth shave, one of the best I have to say. So really happy with this razor. Look, hope you liked the videos. If you did, I appreciate a thumbs up, and if you didn't subscribe yet, I'd love if you can do so. Thanks a million, bye now.